So, just before we actually get into the real content of the actual cloud and AWS, I want to just take a few minutes and point out the importance of study preparation. So, study preparation is where you take some time away from the actual exam and you organize some type of schedule. So, everybody, they may have full time jobs, they may be studying, they may be working full time, there may be all of, children involved, there may be other activities that basically go on in your life, and everybody will have to create their own study plan that, is custom to their own life. It may not be the same for everybody. What I would suggest here is definitely before you even kind of sit down to really sort of say, I'm going to really understand and learn everything about AWS as much as possible, take a few hours away. Take a Saturday or Sunday, take a few hours away and just basically sort of say, okay, here's the days and the times that I can commit. If you have to do a kind of a small kind of mock-up schedule, I've kind of found one here, like, this type of kind of study timetable, take the time and understand, that you can really kind of commit, to these times, to these days, because you don't actually have any, distractions that's going on. Nobody has sort of said, that what's going to happen is this is going to be really easy. You know, People, they'll have different activities going on in their lives and different times and different schedules, and it's not going to be easy. So when you prepare for any type of exam, it's never going to be easy. So just take the time, look through the actual exam schedule, commit to it. Here's a great AWS exam preparation page, which I've highlighted here. The basis sort of says, the value of AWS training and certification. Why do we want to do this? Why would we undertake such a big task? And even if you don't attempt the exam, it's really important that you learn maybe something a bit more to enhance your career even. It can have different benefits basically onto your, for your job opportunities. It can create, a greater salary as well, up to a certain point. So, take the time to create a schedule, commit to the schedule, take some notes, remember to take breaks and regular exercise. It's really important that, you take the scheduled time, you study that time, and then you kind of take breaks and you do commit to some type of exercise as well. Because, if you kind of look here, and I mean, one thing, if you just even Google regular exercise regularly, it's one of the most important you can do for your health. Being physically active can improve your health, brain, manage weight, reduce risk of disease. It has all of these kind of benefits. So the kind of point here is commit to when you need to study, commit to your exercise, commit to whatever you need to do within your life. It's not going to be easy again, but definitely take some time away, before you actually sit down and really start to understand how you're basically going to kind of, tackle this and approach this. There's some great information here on this preparation page, which I'll basically put into the notes here. You know, this one here about the solutions architect associate also has some great information about, when it comes to it. Download the exam guide here, which is really important here. Take that exam guide, have a look at the actual exam guide. You may not, or you may be actually considering to take the exam, but even if you're not, it just helps you understand what's, kind of required really before you even kind of commit to how much time you can actually commit to the actual study preparation. So all of it's vital important. So I hope this kind of helps because, you know, I will certainly do that as well. I'll be taking a few hours before I even get into understanding what the actual AWS services are, because it's really, really important that, I understand how much time I can commit. I can understand family time, I can understand the work time, and I can build around that and commit to a certain percentage of my time for the weekly quota. So I hope this kind of helps, and let's really kind of get into AWS now. Once you actually have your some type of exam or study planner created.